1 billion active users in under 3 years. That is not a typo. TikTok reached 1 billion monthly active users faster than any other social media platform in history. Not Facebook. Not Instagram. Not YouTube. TikTok. And if you think that is just a number, consider this. It fundamentally rewired how every major platform on the planet delivers content to you, whether you use TikTok or not. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly how TikTok pulled off the most disruptive shift in media consumption in a generation. We will break down the algorithm that changed everything, the psychological mechanics behind the endless scroll, and the one counterintuitive insight that most media analysts completely miss. The idea that TikTok did not just change what we watch, but permanently altered what we expect from every screen we look at. Stay with this one. It is more important than you think. TikTok did not appear out of nowhere. Its origin story begins in 2016 with a Chinese app called Douyin, built by a Beijing-based company named ByteDance. Douyin was designed specifically for the Chinese market, and within its first year it had attracted over 100 million users inside China alone. ByteDance founder Zhang Yiming recognized something early that most Silicon Valley executives had missed entirely. People did not actually want to choose what to watch. They wanted content to find them. That single insight became the philosophical foundation of everything TikTok would become. In 2017, ByteDance made a pivotal move. They acquired Musical.ly, a lip-syncing app that had already built a passionate teenage user base in the United States and Europe. Rather than running Musical.ly separately, ByteDance merged it into TikTok in 2018 and launched the combined platform internationally. The result was an app with existing users, existing content creators, and the most sophisticated content recommendation engine the world had ever seen placed underneath all of it. The algorithm is the heart of this entire story, and it deserves a serious look. Most social platforms in 2018 delivered content based on who you followed. Your feed was essentially a curated list of updates from your social network. TikTok threw that model out entirely. Its For You page, known as the FYP, delivers content based almost entirely on behavior signals. How long you watch a video, whether you replay it, whether you share it, whether you skip it within the first 2 seconds. Follower counts become almost irrelevant. A brand new account with 0 followers can post a video tonight and have 5 million views by tomorrow morning. That had never been possible on any major platform before. But here is what nobody talks about when they discuss the TikTok algorithm. It does not just learn your preferences. It shapes them. Every time you pause on a video for 3 extra seconds, the algorithm registers that signal and feeds you more content calibrated to that micro-moment of attention. Over time, the app builds a profile of your psychological triggers that is more accurate than anything you would consciously report about yourself. Researchers at Georgia Tech found that TikTok's recommendation system could predict user interests within the first 40 videos watched, faster than any previous recommendation engine studied. The psychological mechanism underneath all of this is what behavioral scientists call variable reward scheduling. It is the same principle that makes slot machines so compelling. You never know when the next video will be the one that makes you laugh uncontrollably or teaches you something that genuinely shocks you. That unpredictability keeps the scroll going. The average TikTok user spends 95 minutes per day on the app. That is more time than users spend on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter combined. Pattern in the data becomes very clear when you look at what happened to attention spans and content creation after TikTok's rise. Before TikTok, the conventional wisdom in digital media was that videos needed at least 60 seconds to build any meaningful engagement. YouTube's golden era was built on videos that ran 8 to 15 minutes. TikTok initially capped videos at 15 seconds, then 60 seconds, then 3 minutes, then 10 minutes. The cap kept rising, but the behavior TikTok trained into its users never changed. Hook viewers in the first 2 seconds or lose them permanently. Mid-roll break. That 2-second rule is now the operating standard across every major content platform on Earth. YouTube Shorts launched in 2020 as a direct response to TikTok's dominance. Instagram Reels launched the same year after Facebook conducted internal research showing that TikTok was cannibalizing Instagram's usage among users under 30. Snapchat launched Spotlight. Pinterest launched Idea Pins. LinkedIn introduced short-form video. Even Netflix began experimenting with a short-form vertical video feature. Every single one of these moves was a direct reaction to TikTok, proving that short-form, algorithm-driven content was not a fad. It was the future. The numbers behind this industry-wide shift are staggering. Instagram Reels now accounts for over 50% of all time spent on the Instagram platform. YouTube Shorts generates over 50 billion views per day as of 2024. Facebook Reels crossed 100 billion views per day in 2022. TikTok did not just build a successful app. It forced the entire social media industry to rebuild itself in TikTok's image. What this means for creators is equally significant. The creator economy before TikTok was dominated by people who had spent years building large followings. Influence was a function of time and relationship. TikTok democratized reach in a way that was genuinely revolutionary. A 17-year-old in rural Oklahoma can reach more people in a single week on TikTok than most television shows reach in a month. This created an entirely new professional class, full-time creators who built careers not through traditional media gatekeepers but through algorithmic performance alone. Brands noticed immediately. Global TikTok advertising revenue reached $18 billion in 2023. That figure was essentially zero in 2019. Entire marketing departments restructured around the platform. The term that emerged from this cultural shift is native content, advertising that looks indistinguishable from organic creator content. Traditional 30-second ad spots became nearly worthless on TikTok. Authenticity, or at least the performance of authenticity, became the primary currency. But here is what nobody talks about when analysts celebrate the democratization TikTok created. The algorithm that gives everyone equal access to virality also creates profound winner-takes-all dynamics. The same system that can make an unknown creator famous overnight can also send their next video to 400 people. Creators report extreme psychological volatility tied to algorithmic performance, a condition researchers at the University of Melbourne described as platform-induced anxiety, where self-worth becomes directly tied to engagement metrics that nobody fully understands or controls. The creative freedom TikTok enabled came attached to a new kind of digital precarity. The political and regulatory dimensions of TikTok's rise add another layer of complexity that cannot be ignored. Because TikTok is owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company subject to Chinese law, governments around the world have raised serious concerns about data security and potential state access to user information. The United States Congress held multiple hearings on the matter. India banned the app outright in 2020. The United States passed legislation in 2024 requiring ByteDance to divest TikTok or face a nationwide ban. Whatever the ultimate outcome of those legal battles, they signal something important. TikTok became significant enough to national infrastructure conversations that it entered the same category as utilities and telecommunications networks. No social media company had occupied that space before. What TikTok ultimately changed is not just content format or platform design. It changed the fundamental contract between audiences and media. Before TikTok, the implicit agreement was that you came to a platform with intentions and the platform helped you fulfill them. After TikTok, the implicit agreement became that you come to a platform with time and the algorithm decides what your intentions should be. That shift, from active consumption to passive reception, is the single most significant behavioral transformation in media history since the remote control allowed people to change television channels without leaving the couch. Every screen you interact with today has been redesigned around this new contract. Your news app, your streaming service, your music platform, all of them now use behavioral signals rather than stated preferences to determine what reaches you. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Flash Trend for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.